I just want to take a couple moments because I'm a big promoter of energy. And I know that energy can circulate, and at the moment, it's not that we are experiencing, based on this lockdown, experiencing psychological issues. Everybody, if not the majority of people out there, are experiencing psychological issues because of what's currently taking place. And the lack of vitamin D, the lack of a certain amount of connectedness with other people is causing us these psychological issues. But it's not only psychological, it's biological, right? We are feeling it in our bodies. I'm a big believer that that feeling of connectedness with others, whether it be verbally or kinesthetically, touching, whatever it may be, hugging, really makes a massive difference in our biology as much as our psychology. So I think we are suffering in more ways than we currently notice, and we need to be aware of it, and we need to make sure we do things that bring back harmony within our mind, body, and spirit system. So what I want to do right now, if it's okay with all of you, is I just want to take a few moments to just think and to imagine everything moving in a much better direction in the near future. So what I'd like you to do is just to give yourself a bit of a hug. And as you're hugging yourself, I want you to go ahead and imagine that you're actually hugging everybody else here. And as you're doing that, I want you to go ahead and breathe. And as you breathe, I want you to notice that that breath is moving all the way from the bottom, from your first chakra, all the way up to the top. And as you breathe in, I want you to just hold it for a few moments and imagine that beautiful oxygen, that life force, just circulating in your head area. And as you breathe out, just let go of all the fear. And this continuous cycle of breathing in and moving that breath from the bottom all the way up to the top and holding it, and letting go. Letting go of the fear, letting go of the pessimism, letting go of the anger. And we do this consistently. We consistently breathe this way as you hear me talking. And we imagine the world improving itself. We imagine nature taking its toll on this planet again. And we imagine getting out there, hugging everybody we see, smiling at everybody we see, and not taking anything for granted anymore. I want you to feel that now. I want you to feel that in every inch of your body. Feel that happening right now. As we spread this beautiful, loving energy to everybody out there that's currently going through a hard time. And we ask that no matter what you believe in, that source brings you closer to a deep, deep awakening that naturally takes your anxiety away and brings forward things you couldn't see before. One more deep breath in and out. And I want to say thank you for doing that with me. What's everyone drinking today? What's everyone drinking? I've got a combination of different mushrooms. Just call me the mushroom man. It's fine. I won't take it personal. The mushroom man. A lot of mushroom tea lately. In these Facebook Lives, I really want to, I want to make sure that you get the most out of all of these. And good stuff, Mary. Luz is drinking the chamomile tea. Jim's got the water going. Good stuff, good stuff. James got the water going. I want to make sure that we do a lot of Q&A because there's a lot of people out there with some questions towards me. Are my answers the end-all, be-all? No. My answers are my own opinions, okay? You want to question them, you want to look deeper into them, and that's where self-reliance comes into play. And before we get into some Q&A, let's understand what may be holding you back right now. And in the comments section, I want you guys to admit whether or not this is in fact holding you back. Self-reliance versus dependence. I just want to take about 5 to 10 minutes, not a lot of time, just to go over self-reliance versus dependence. Self-reliance. Your mood just lifted, Stacy. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. That's what we need more of. We really need more of that. Self-reliance is the mental maturity to look for the needs of a human from within rather than look to fulfill our needs through others. Dependency is a relying on others. Now, when I was suffering from anxiety, I found, and throughout my entire life, in fact, I was very much dependent. And I started justifying my behaviors. If something was really a behavior that I knew wasn't right for me, I found ways to convince myself that I needed to continue doing it, right? For example, just one out of many, many examples, right? The idea of Googling your symptoms of anxiety, a lot of people do that, right? Health anxiety, that sort of thing. We've talked about it many times before, but Googling your symptoms of anxiety is a form of dependence. I am depending on an outer source to tell me that my symptoms are in fact related to something related to the mental and emotional components, and it's not related to something as far as the physical ailment. I couldn't, for a very long time, I couldn't rely on my own opinions to convince myself that I was in fact experiencing anxiety-related symptoms. So there I was. I had to go online all the time. I had to go to the doctors numerous times. I had to, I transformed my family and friends into people that would only exist for the betterment of me, to listen to me. Anxiety is a very, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but it's kind of a selfish thing, right? It's all about you. It's all about you. And so it was all about me, whether it was, my fiance or anybody else, authorities, whatever. And I never gave them a chance to actually explain to me what was truly taking place in my life. If they did explain to me what was taking place in my life, I quickly stuffed it aside because of my constant need or constant cycle that I was in related to my survival mind, my survival brain. And so when this survival brain and this emotional brain start working together, there is no conscious brain. You literally can't think anymore. And the emotions, you get so caught up in the emotions that the neocortex is out of the picture. There is no thinking. There is only remembering. And so you go about each and every day depending on outside sources to provide you with what you're looking for on the inside. Right? Does this sound like you? Comment below if you feel like right now, and be honest with yourself. If you feel like you are living a life of dependence rather than self-reliance. Self-reliance takes courage. Let's understand that. To be self-reliant, you need to be courageous. And a lot of people don't believe that they can be courageous because they feel like they failed many times in the past. So anytime they try to do something for themselves, they feel like there's no point in doing it. They do it half-heartedly. And so there is no result. The desired result never manifests. It never manifests because it's always half-hearted. That's why you hear the majority of anxiety sufferers say, I'll try that. I'll give it a shot, right? I'll hope that change shows up. I'll do this and I'll hope that, my this and that goes away. These are people that are living under dependence. There is no self-reliance, and you cannot blame them for it. You can't just sit there and have a motivational quote like, hey, take on the world today. It doesn't work like that. It really is systematic, right? It really is your ability to prove to yourself that you can be self-reliant through these little tiny wins, these baby steps every single day that start to pile up over the dependency that used to pile up in the past. Let me tell you something. You cannot overcome anxiety without being self-reliant. You want to write that down. Michael's in the house, everybody. Michael, you stay safe in New York, my friend, okay? You stay safe. You stay well. You stay healthy. But comment below. A couple people have already, but remember, you cannot heal anxiety. You cannot transform your mind, body, spirit until you are self-reliant. Okay? And the majority of people that have been following me and have been on this path with me are becoming or have completely become self-reliant. In the beginning, you could see how dependent they were, right? A lot of people here will tell you that. A lot of people here are the beginning warriors, if you want to call it that, right? And you can see that they've really taken their lives into their own hands. They've really taken their issues into their own hands, and they've gotten to a much better place over it all. Trusting what I tell myself is a real challenge still for me, but it is moving in the right direction. Now, self-reliance. Self-reliance is self-love and self-worth. Self-reliance is self-love and self-worth. Okay? Dependency relies on others to give us the feelings of love temporarily, and reassure us of our self-worth. So it is very much a self-worth issue, right? We don't feel worthy enough of believing our own opinions and the ones that we consciously want to create within us. We don't feel worthy of following that path. Many people here have gone through singular or multiple traumas in their lives that have affected them deeply. That's what the book is for. If you're reading the book right now, you'll understand the tools and the mindsets to get over that stuff. But the belief is not there, right? To be self-reliant. The self-love is not there. Therefore, they look for it in other relationships. Right? They look for it in a dog, in a pet, in a friend, or a spouse or something. But you cannot love another person until you love yourself. That is period, final, end of story. Everything else is companionship. Okay? You have a companion. You have someone there to spend time with so that you can feel safe, because you don't feel safe in your own skin. Okay? You don't feel safe with the thoughts that you manifest. Okay? Not the ones that were given to you, but you don't feel comfortable enough to believe the things that you are thinking. You have two different thoughts. And you have two different beliefs. You have one type of thought that comes from the divine part of you. You have one type of thought, the thought that you create based on your analyzing of the world and your analyzing of yourself. You have your beliefs that you don't spend enough time with because you don't believe in them. You believe in the beliefs that are reactive, right? So you could be going through your day and you get a negative feeling erupting within you, an emotion, anxiety, whatever it is. And so then you interpret the situation as X. That's the belief that you believe in because it's been so steady in your life. It's been so consistent. It's been your reality. And your reality is fogged up. It's just this foggy view of what reality is and who you are. You are so limitless. And this is no BS. I mean, I have to say that so much of who we are today is based on the BS programming that we've been under over the last couple decades. I have to be open with you guys if we in fact want to create this transformational path that we're on. And it's unfortunate that we were programmed this way, to see life in a very fearful manner and to see ourselves in a very limited manner. It's unfortunate. But let me tell you something. We don't have to live a life of dependence. We have convinced ourselves to be dependent, and we can convince ourselves to be self-reliant, right? Let's also consider that many anxiety sufferers continue to suffer unconsciously because in some way or another, they are receiving what they didn't receive when they were a kid through anxiety today. A lot of people will go, no way. But anxiety could potentially, because every behavior comes with a need that needs to be met, right? You have a need that needs to be met, and therefore you do something, right? If I want self-love, if I want to feel the experience of love, and I'm not getting that experience of love through my inner hard work, right? And I don't feel like I'm getting to that point because a part of me, a big belief, a subconscious program within me says I don't deserve self-love, or I don't deserve to feel love. Then I will start to do whatever it takes to experience love. And if anxiety brings me love, then anxiety is what it is. When I was a kid, I used to unconsciously get sick because that was the final option I had to feel the feeling of love from people that weren't giving it to me back then. And it worked. I got the hugs I wanted. I got the feelings I wanted. I felt like I was a part of the community. I felt like I was connected. So is it possible that people through their mental and emotional distress are meeting a need that can't be met when they're doing the conscious work? Absolutely. You have to see through these roots of your resistance if you in fact want to be self-reliant and stop being dependent. These are the roots. Guys, let's be honest here. Let's be honest, for honest sakes. There's a book out there, F Coping, Start Healing, just came out. You should be reading, you should be studying that book. Every word. It holds the keys to your freedom. I have the programs, I have the YouTube videos, the podcast. It's there. So why don't you ask yourself, why am I not where I want to be yet? Have you ever asked yourself that question? What's preventing me? What are the roadblocks that are preventing me from experiencing life and experiencing myself through a sense of inner peace? What is it? And when you ask that question through meditation, and the answer shows up, you don't want to neglect the answer. You don't want to stuff it aside. You want to look directly towards it, and you want to be honest with yourself. Why am I not improving myself? Why? The only one that's holding you back is you. Now here's the other thing. Sean says I'm not doing the work. I, years ago, didn't do the work either. I knew I needed to do the work, but I didn't do the work. Why? Because a change scared the crap out of me. That's why. Okay? A shift, even if it was a positive shift, scared the crap out of me. I didn't believe I deserved it. I didn't believe I could maintain it. I didn't believe that it was a part of my identity. I didn't believe that people would connect with me the same way they were connecting with me. And all these other justifications, these reasons for not doing the work, right? And it's all BS, and it's all based around fear. It's all based around fear, period. You are scared to change. You are scared of the world of the unknown. You are fearful of the uncertainty that will come with the change work. People won't accept you. You'll be too far away from your old beliefs. You'll feel disconnected from your family. I mean, these roots of your resistance are the very things that are holding you back, because the mindset is there. I am here for you. The warriors are here for you. You have the skill sets. You have everything you need. You could literally change everything within a few days. Within a few days. You could change your entire life within a few days. I promise you. If you change your habits and you actually commit for just a couple days, you will find that you can even become 50%, if not so much better. I've done sessions with people that within an hour, okay, they have created a long-term shift within them. How? Well, there are many different hows. But it started with a choice. And it started with dissatisfaction. And it started with getting to the point of no return, saying, I'm not going to live in this place anymore. I'm not going to live here anymore. I am a limitless being. The advertisings, as much as the marketings out there want to sell me things that they say are the only ways I can improve myself, BS. Okay, you can improve yourself through literally anything that you do for yourself that you need, right? So how do we become self-reliant? How do we become self-reliant? You want to write this down, because I need you guys to be self-reliant, okay? I need you to be self-reliant. I'm a big believer in self-reliance. You cannot live in dependence, okay? Find the courageous parts within you that already can affirm your positive qualities based on previous experience. Okay? Find the courageous parts within you. And they are there. You're neglecting them, but they are there. You are courageous. Very courageous, in fact. You've done a lot of things in the past that can prove your courage. And through this courageous part, you want to make sure that you fill yourself with the information. You want to write it down. Mike, how are you? You want to write it down. You want to become aware of it. You want to speak your truth to other people and yourself. What you say to other people and how you converse with yourself will determine who you become. How are you communicating with others and yourself? So instead of filling yourself with all the reasons for why you can't and shouldn't, start bringing to your attention all the past experiences that prove that you can and that you should. Not should, must. That's number one. Number two is spend the next 7 days, write this down, spend the next seven days never asking others to affirm something going on with you. Not a thing. In fact, I'm not even talking just verbally. I'm talking behaviorally. Don't ask other people to do things for you. For the next 7 days, you do everything for you. Can you take that on? Are you strong enough to do that? Can you cook your own food? Can you? Right? Can you make your own bed? Instead of reading other people's books, can you write your own book? You have enough knowledge. You guys are so bloody smart. It's ridiculous. It's incredible how intelligent you are. Okay? Like in terms of everything that we're discussing, mind, body, spirit stuff. So spend the next 7 days never asking others to affirm anything for you. Am I pretty enough? Do I look good in this? Am I smiling enough? What does my energy feel like to you? Is this symptom normal? Throw it out. Get rid of it. Be done with it. Do you want to live like that forever? Right? I mean, for God's sakes, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, in 10 years, do you want to be worse than where you are? Because that's what's going to happen. Period. Right? I mean, guys, the best thing that ever happened to me was I met a mentor that started to tell me things as they are, and I started to listen. He screamed at me. He yelled at me. He made me question myself. He made me question who I thought I was. He made me question what I was doing and who I'd become. And you know what? This kind of tough love is something that not everybody wants to hear, but they have to hear. And you know what? I tell people this stuff in regular conversations. In fact, I've had sessions with people where I've said things to them that they didn't want to hear, and they shut down the session. And then a week later, they came back saying, I realized why you did what you did. I took it personally back then, but now I understand. So find the courageous parts that live within you. For the next 7 days, never ask to be affirmed of something that you can affirm yourself. And finally, love the inner child within more when it shows up through your sensations. Your bodily sensations, as we've mentioned many times before, are nothing more than signals and messages. Are you getting the message? Many people will say, I don't know what the message is. No. It's not that you don't know. It's that you're scared to investigate. You're scared to investigate. You're scared to investigate to see what you're going to find at a deep-rooted level. That's why you don't look your fears in the face, and rather you stuff them aside. You stuff them to the side. I don't want to deal with this right now. All right? You're very welcome, Bev. Very welcome. So love the inner child when it shows up through your sensations, and in a guiding, compassionate, and understanding manner, get the message. Get the message. The message could be anything. Why am I feeling this way? I'm holding on to this. I haven't let go of that. The trauma that happened at 5 years old is still living within me. As much as I don't want to admit it, it's true. Right? And so I'm not breathing right. I have an image of the future being catastrophic. Whatever the sensation is telling you, dig, listen. It's all message. Right? Corina, that's fantastic. Love it. Wendy, honestly, and I'm only going to say this out of pure love, don't put out another comment anywhere or a message to me if it has something to do with inner distress or affirming something. You're so much better than that. You're so beyond that world, right? And the truth is that we've all been in that place. And the first couple days in the initial parts of healing is very, very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And it can be discouraging, very discouraging. You want to go back to dependence so quickly. Something happens, you get discouraged. Oh, but this isn't right yet. Everything else is good, but this isn't right. You find something that's wrong. You will find something that's wrong as long as you believe that your identity is connected to that. If you see yourself as lack and a low self-worth, and you live by these fearful programs and you see everything in a pessimistic manner, I promise you, you will look at this cup and go, the colors are not right, right? Or, oh my God, I could actually probably suffocate in some way. I could choke on the water or something. You'll make something up, right? Nothing changes until you change your identity. And to change your identity, you have to allow the old you to die. Yeah? And you have to accept fully and step into the new you. Whatever comes with that comes with that. Right? Whatever comes with that new identity comes with that new identity. Let me be totally honest with you guys for a second. This new identity that you see here before you, I couldn't dream up, right? Years ago, I couldn't even dream this guy up, right? I used to make fun of this guy back in my past. Oh, look at that guy, he's talking about inner peace. Look at him, he's talking about love. Look at him, how connected he is to nature. What a douchebag, right? What does he know? And so the inner rage and the jealousy would show up every single day, right? And I would point fingers at everybody, and I would live in this world of fear and distress, and I would find things to get upset over. Constantly, I would find new things to get upset over no matter what. And so this new identity is a result of not forcing change, not forcing healing. This came natural to me. Every day there's something new that shows up. Something new, right? Something new where some conscious part of me, the divine, the source energy, whatever you want to call it, God, who lives within us, provides me with something, some kind of message. And it's not my job to say that message is right or wrong. It's my job to say, you know what, that goes with the new identity. I accept it fully, even though I'm not comfortable with that belief or whatever it is, that personality trait. And even though other people might not agree with me, who cares? Who cares what other people think? If you've read the book, Outwitting the Devil, you'll realize that 98% of people out there are drifters. They've drifted so far into fear and so far into lack and so far into low self-worth that it's very difficult to bring them back. You don't want to be part of that 98%. You don't. Okay? You want to be the 2%. And when you become the 2%, you want to make sure that you spread that message out to other people. Okay? If you haven't read Unwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, you need to. Right? But guys, the final thing before Q&A is just what I mentioned there. When you start to fill other people with the knowledge that you have within you to help their distress, right? That's the last couple percent towards the molding of your new identity. Write the book. Find someone today to give some advice to. Awaken other people to what may be going on in the world right now. Our freedom's being taken away from us little by little. Do it. Do it in the face of fear. Right? You have to have the courage to step up right now. Okay? Because let me tell you something. On a separate note, as far as what's going on in the world, I'm having some really interesting dreams lately. Dreams that even make me uncomfortable. So it's very important, right, that the healing begins with you. It's very important that you look deep within and you give yourself what you need right now, and you replace those old beliefs and those old habits with new ones. You do all those things that you know you need to do, but you're scared to do at a deep level. You do those things for you, and then you share the message with others. Share the message with others. Questions? If you guys have any questions, I am here. Dreams and anxiety. I take a very Freudian approach, Amira, to dreams. So if you do study Freud and dreams, you'll kind of know where I'm sitting with all that stuff. I do believe you should always jot down your dreams. I'm a firm believer, actually. I'm a firm believer that dreams have some kind of message behind them, whether that be from subconscious or whatever you want to call it. But it's important to jot down these dreams. Right? It's important to analyze them. It's important to see what you need to do or what you're doing that's preventing you from healing through those dreams. But I'll make a video for sure. I'll definitely make a video on it. Corina started a blog. I love it. Let's all connect with Corina. Maybe we can head on over to her blog and send some comments there. Absolutely. I mean, everybody should be starting a blog or something, because that really is coaching in itself. It's counseling, it's therapy, whatever you want to call it, right? Even nightmares. Yeah, absolutely. Even nightmares. I'm having dreams, and I have nightmares from time to time. I mean, I could have a fabulous day and be caught off guard with something overnight that I didn't think would ever appear in the middle of the night as far as a nightmare goes, and it's there. And then as I trust my intuition, I know what to do with that. Wendy, I did have agoraphobia. Absolutely, I did. 3 months, when we talk about the 3 months part of healing for me, it really, I started to, at the 3 month mark, I started to feel like the change was becoming more automatic, like more unconscious. I didn't have to work so hard for it. I did suffer from agoraphobia, and it's interesting how when you shift one aspect of your life and you start to take these baby steps and you start to gain momentum, it's almost like a whole new world opens up to you, and things that you used to think that you could never overcome, you start to overcome. But again, it's all about momentum and progress. You need to make sure that you are staying on the path towards momentum, and you're really not wavering from that path when you make a mistake, right? Or something goes wrong, or something shows up, or whatever it is. You stay on that path. Bev is doing poems. I love it. I love it. I should have a place where we can share all this stuff, where we can share our blogs, where we can share our videos, our books, and those sorts of things. James, Dennis, could it mean I'm eating sugar or salt too late? That could transparent into my mornings. Been so bad. For sure. I mean, definitely. Absolutely. How can I connect my own personal experience to that? Chips. Chips. I used to be a big chip eater. And the biggest reason I realized that I was eating chips is because I was deficient in salt. And I was really dehydrated. Right? I was really dehydrated. A lot of salt, a lot of chips. I replaced it with every morning when I woke up. Instead of the processed stuff, I actually took a half a tablespoon of Himalayan salt, and I put it in a glass of water, a full glass of water, and I chugged that water. First thing I did every morning, and my adrenal fatigue improved dramatically, along with all the other things I was doing, of course, but... Let me scroll a bit, see what's up. Angie, my subconscious mind fights me at night and wakes me up. Any ideas reframing before bedtime? I mean, there are so many reasons potentially for that. But my intuition really says that it could be a potential reason why your subconscious wakes you up at night. There's a reason. Maybe there was a past experience. Maybe there was a movie that you watched. Maybe you're aware of what may have taken place in the middle of the night, or even a time. Like you watch a movie and sometimes it's like 3 a.m. and at 3 a.m. some weird stuff starts to happen consistently in the movies. And then you start to, the subconscious starts to believe it needs to wake you up at 3 a.m. Anything's possible. But what you want to make sure happens is before you go to sleep, there's 2 times where you really have to take control. The first few minutes upon waking up and the last couple minutes prior to going to bed. Now, I've done a really good job in the last couple months of keeping my devices and any kind of Wi-Fi radiation frequencies out of the bedroom. Okay, this is something that everybody should be doing. Okay, modem unplugged, computers, everything else in a separate place. Okay, no phones, nothing like that in the bedroom, period. If we are in fact going to heal ourselves, we have to be less addicted to the technology that we believe we need in some way, right? So I put that aside and I actually started to do mantra meditation as I was dozing off. So, for example, let go. In breath would be let, out breath would be go. Let go, let go, let go, let go, until I dozed off. If you want to create pictures in your head while you're letting go, whatever comes to mind, letting go could be letting go, taking your shoes off and you're walking in a creek. That's your picture. Let go, let go, let go. So, in breath, a certain word. Out breath, a certain word. Mantra meditation is great. As well, color meditation is fantastic. Sometimes I do that before going to sleep as well. I breathe in my safety color, which to me is green, and I breathe out any kind of lingering blacks or reds that may be stored in different parts of my body. So I'll actually visualize it, and it's become quite habitual. In with the green, out with the blue, the black. Green, black, green, black, green, black. And I'll put myself to sleep that way. Those should help. Those should help. Good for you, Anita. No internet. That's awesome. Now, I used to live in Bali. And Bali reportedly, as far as people out there that are concerned about Corona and COVID, which we all are, of course, but one of the biggest reasons that I've and Robin has been debating is Bali's hot, gets a lot of sun, you get a lot of vitamin D. People there are actually, they're not practicing social distancing as much as we are here in North America, which is interesting to me. I don't know if I agree with that or not. But the vitamin D is a very important aspect of healing. And could you begin to feel completely different by getting the amount of vitamin D that you need every single day? It's possible. Yeah, absolutely. I believe right now there's 3 things that are very important. Vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin C. Those are the 3 things that I heavily rely on to strengthen my immune system in terms of what we're dealing with in the world right now, as well as the herbs that continue to boost your immune system. It's interesting, yeah. Corina, great share. I love it. She uses a drop called D Emulsion. Pure formula. Cool. Great share. Cod liver oil is a good source of vitamin D. Kelly, thank you. Awesome stuff. I love your shares, guys. I love it. Anything else you want to share on any of these questions or topics, right? It's about us. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's always about us. Lots of physical activity, vitamin D, and communication. Yes. I'm a big believer as well, and I mentioned this earlier. our disconnect with each other, like I said, is a psychological and a biological problem, right? I believe that this social distancing rule that we have right now, and the fact that we are stuck in our homes, is really affecting us in more ways than we can see. I hope it ends soon. Calming the gut-brain connection. Well, the majority of your serotonin is located in your gut. So in terms of calming the gut-brain connection, I would focus on breathing exercises, number one. I would look at food combinations, number two. I would look at food allergies, number three. I would look at these sorts of things to begin the detox process as far as the gut goes, because really what you put in your body determines your mental health as well. I mean, what you're eating, what supplements you're taking, what herbs you're taking, those sorts of things. It's a very important aspect of healing. Healing isn't just thinking differently, like a lot of people think. Right? I'm going to heal my anxiety. I need to think about things differently. Well, if you're deficient in many ways, then it really doesn't matter how different you think. You're not going to be able to think the way you want to think because you're, nutritionally deficient. And I'm a big believer that herbs can give us everything we need, but that's my own opinion. But that's a very important aspect, very important part of healing for sure. I went to a naturopath and she did a number of tests on me, and I realized these are the foods that are adding to candida overgrowth, that are adding to my adrenal fatigue, that are causing the brain fog and the depersonalization I was experiencing. And so it was a complete 3-month focused inner healing process that brought me towards freedom. Important. Wendy takes probiotics. Good stuff. Michelle, thanks for sharing. Michelle says, I read about a probiotic called Probiomood that includes certain strains of probiotics that may help with anxiety and depression. Michelle, thank you. Awesome. I'm doing 100 push-ups a day, guys. 100 push-ups a day. Can you tell? Not quite the Rock yet. Luz, of course you can take vitamin C and D together. In fact, I have a supplement I take each and every day, Vega supplement that has a ton of vitamins in there, a ton of minerals in there. I highly recommend Vega as a brand to get what you need. Meal replacement, vegan. I will challenge Venus and Serena again once I get back on the tennis court and start moving again. Absolutely, they are in trouble. Yeah. What do you miss the most, guys? Comment below. More than missing, what will you never overlook again? What will you never take for granted again? Comment below. I really want to know. Dig deep within you. Luz, it's called Vega. Big hugs to everybody. Yeah. Corina, Mrs. Hugging Mom. Me too. New morning routine for Amira. I love it. She's got everything moving in the right direction. I love it. Debbie, the earth. Yes. To go out whenever you want, freedom. I know. Never take for granted my relationships with family and friends. Yeah. Camping. Safety. Jermaine misses shopping. Awesome. So good. Well, guys, I love it. Keep it coming. I just want to say, as we end this Facebook Live, I want to say thanks for being here with me. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Thanks for connecting with others. I'm really, really proud of each and every one of you. I'm so grateful that we can all contribute to each other's healing journeys. If you haven't picked up the book yet, go on Amazon today. Because of the COVID issue, I believe there's some kind of a wait in terms of the physical book coming out, so please be patient. It shouldn't be that much longer, but you can read the digital version right now, and you should be studying it on Amazon. I love you all very, very much. Let's become self-reliant. Let's become more awakened beings. Let's question what we see, hear, and feel, and let's make our own choices based on our own research and our own ways of thinking. Let's not be manipulated anymore. Let's not be manipulated. Let's not fall victim to other people's ways of thinking and seeing the world. Let's really take our lives into our own hands and create our own identities, the identity that we can wake up to in the morning and be so proud of. That's who I want for you. And when you're winning, guys, I'm winning. I'm winning, right? I'm here to serve you, and nothing more than that, literally. So thank you all for being there. And have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope I shine some light on your day, and let's continue to be grateful. Love you all. Bye, guys.